Good morning. It says I'm live. There's some numbers for me. I'm a little bit early than late though. 6 minutes early. Whoops, not that one. Good morning. And I will get up and going just as soon as we get a couple more people in. Not that you're not appointment, just why do I keep hitting the wrong buttons? Oh. Okay, I think I got it. And it looks like I'm all alone, except for that fib sometimes, and I'm actually not alone. It just wants me to believe I am. So we'll sit here for a minute while other people come in. I'm Coleen. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back if you're not. I appreciate you joining me on this Christmas Eve. Yes, we celebrate Christmas around here. I'm not trying to push it on you. I do what I like. Good morning, Deborah. I bet you're exhausted. Christmas Eve is an exhausting day. It just is. And the weekend before, oh my goodness. I got my color splash all quilted and I washed it. And all of those horrible puckers I was seeing yesterday, I'm not seeing today. There was one or two that stood out to me still just because I know they're there. Oh, Deborah, are you ready for Christmas? Got a list to work on. I should have a list to work on. I had a list to work on yesterday. I'll show you what I messed up. I was watching. It says it's just you and me, Deborah. I was watching Pat Sloan's last upload because you know I like Pat Sloan. And I tell my husband she's my friend. So I tell him everybody's my friend. I was watching her and she put a, I think it was an encouraging share of a fail that she had, but eventually worked out. And she was like, if it could go wrong, it was going wrong. And it happens. Yes, Deborah says we're all friends. And exactly. But it happens. And I'm like, oh man, she is talking my language this morning. Yesterday, I finished quilting this. I have some threads that I found after I washed it that I need to sew in just over there in the corner. I can do that before we leave today. But I'm worse. I had a full cup of coffee already. I got that finished up. I broke my needle. You may have seen the short that I put up. I was like, okay, broke the needle. Then I started missing the edges where I pulled the black cowhide over the pink and white cowhide. And I was just like, man, this should not take this long. When I got done, I had a pillow that I wanted to make. I'll show you that one in a second. This is the one I wound up with. What I was thinking, I should take this out of the bag, but this was the last minute thought. I have threads to cut off. I don't think anybody's watched it, so that's a Christmas present for baby girl. Oh, the batteries that go. But I was thinking I was going to make a pillow. I did these corners wrong. I used some batting. Trying to find the side that I was sewing. I used some batting to make some kind of like a piping. Just a little sign right there. And then I did the corners, and what I was thinking was this was all going to be out and pretty, just, you know, I don't know what you call it, but like ruffles and stuff like that. I thought, okay, that's just, you don't want it too too, I don't know, overdone. It's for a baby. Well, a toddler. Anyway, so this corner was supposed to be out like this. It is not. I did a pretty nice corner right there. It's not supposed to be laying down. It's supposed to be out. So, Dara says, I saw this short. Cute. Thank you. So it was supposed to be out. And then I was trying to think, okay, I made it just barely the right size. Do I want to go ahead and sew this down? Because I'm going to have to go around that edge because you don't want to catch anything. You know, like crumbs and things like that. And yes, I expect it to be used anywhere in the house that baby is. I would. So I didn't want to catch crumbs or anything like that. So I was like, ugh, all this time I've spent trying to figure this out. And it's a fail. You can see where I put the batting in right here. It failed. I didn't finish the edge. I probably will now before I leave. And now it's all wrinkly. I thought that was a really good idea. And I'm going to put a minky on the top right here. Nightbot is on. I was going to put the minky on the top of it so it was soft and it would match. And that just did not happen. Let's move these out of my way. So then I got the leftover minky that I had. And I just did whatever kind of seam this is. I sewed wrong sides together, then flipped it over and sewed that side of it's gonna bug me. That side of that seam, I sewed right sides together. So now, and my husband has gotten used to it being called Minky because he even said yesterday, he said, oh, a Minky pillow. And I was like, yep. She could probably fit in it. It could be like a little sleeping bag. Oh, goodness. Anyway, I think she'll love that. I'll get the black and white cowhide is what her mama likes. You get some of those, ask her if she wants some throw pillows or something and not mess them up. But when Pat Sloan was talking about that pillow being messed up, I was like, man, it just goes like that. I was like, oh, this is going to be cute, and I can't believe it's working, and then it didn't. Which should not have surprised me, but it did. So we've got those. We've got that finished. I like the crinkly look. And I pre-soaked and dried the cotton polyester batting that I used, and it's still crinkled, and I like that, so I was glad I did. It's a very, very heavy quilt. Bill calls Miki the furry stuff. That's what I figured Tim would call it. But he said a Miki pillow, and I was like, you're teachable. Oh, this changes things. Oh, he is not up yet. What he's going to do is he's going to wait till I'm mid-live, get up and go in the kitchen and make a bunch of racket for me. Oh, goodness. Anyway, it is 7:03. I quilted. Why can't I ever do this? I quilted each of these blocks individually. I did one at a time, so I had a ton of ends to bury instead of just going across it, which is much more tedious. And I can tell you 2 of these blocks took me, and I'm not fast, took me an hour more or less to do. Then I had some sashing that I quilted on. Probably took an hour or two too. So it took a while on this machine. That I did quilt it on this machine. I didn't have, besides that needle breaking, and I should have changed it because I did all of that quilting. I should have changed my needle quicker. And I used my last stretch needle, so it went to a micro text sharp needle for the rest of it, which is fine. It worked. Ooh, okay, this is the ribbon. I was able to find, this is not my favorite brand fabric at Walmart. It's pretty thin, but it works. for this right here, these right here, it worked. So that's what we're going to do. I was able to find 2 more yards because, oh, I messed up. Last Tuesday, right before the live, I messed a whole bunch up. Otherwise, I'd have enough, even though it wasn't planned. Oh, all right. I'm going to get started. YouTube says, oh, somebody else is here. Oh, I have such a puffy face. I did not sleep well last night. I had to take a muscle relaxer yesterday before I went to bed, which leaves me groggy and kind of in my brain. Gives me fuzzy brain is what I call it. But I didn't have a choice. Even with the muscle relaxer, my body was jerking. It's like somebody grabs my shoulder and pulls it back when I'm on my side or my hip. And anyway, oh yes, everybody is busy. It's Christmas Eve. I kind of expected to be alone, but Deborah, since you said you'd be here. You and me, girlfriend. Let's go ahead and do this then. Okay. This is the Christmas tree that I math wrong the first time. At least it will be. See that top? That top is much bigger than these down here. I don't like that. That's how it's made, so that's how it's made. So pick a card real quick. Pick a card, any card. Make sure it's on this side because I've done these. And I need 42 blocks if this quilt is going to be the size I want it to be. So, oh, come on. I will pick the front card. It's not working. Well, you know what? Now I got Santa. Oh, that's a few block. That is why Melissa got the Quilt Builder card deck Christmas deck or Christmas set. There is a pinned comment up there, and ouch. There's a pinned comment down there, up there in the chat, and anything I talk about should be below in the more details, along with my friends that have channels. So if you're looking for more quilty sewing inspiration, even non-quilty organizing, cleaning, decorating inspiration, underneath the video at the very end of the details is more. And there you go. You can visit them, give them a subscription. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. Leave a nice comment, and don't forget to give them a thumbs up if you like what they're doing. Deborah says, been dealing with cramps in my legs all night. That just stinks. Okay, let me put this one up. My husband said he was gonna stay in bed till after the live. Then when I told him I was over at 80, he says, I don't think I can stay in bed that long. So he's going to stay in bed till halfway through the live, and then get up, make a bunch of racket to get coffee. Then I'm going to sit here and make fun of him for a while. I told him, I said, everybody wants to say hi to you. Nobody needs to. He's a brat. Now these I gave directions to make them like this. I was so frustrated. I was like, 2-inch squares, sew and flip. That's what I'm doing. So this is a 5x2 piece. Let's see if we can get that light to not. This light is a struggle. It's necessary, but oh, that's all kinds of bad. I think that's better. I did try to figure this out before I went live. It just was not working for me. 2-inch squares, pretty sides together. This one you can't see because the light is fighting me. I drew a line. I'm going to sew from corner to corner on that line. And then I'm going to sew from corner to corner over here. I did draw a line, but that was on the wrong side, so I flipped it, and there is no longer a line. So we'll do 2 of these like that. The 2-inch squares on the 2x5. Versus aren't almond brats. Yes. Yes, they are. And I'm going to sew from the outside to the inside. I'm using a 1.6 stitch because I like it. And seam tape so I can see my 1/4 inch. This corner is, let's get you guys closer. Maybe that's what the problem was. I need to get closer. Tilting. I hate doing this to y'all. Okay. See my Santa earrings? I have more Christmas earrings than any other earrings because I don't have much other earrings. There's a red line on the seam tape. I'm putting that corner on that. Dropping my needle. I've got a hold of my threads so it doesn't eat them. Leaders and enders would work here. Once you get it going, you can let go. I'm just going to flip it around and do this other one. Pat Sloan was saying that everybody makes mistakes. It's just part of it. It's just part of what we do. And I was like, really? Everybody makes mistakes? Probably not as many as me. I was wrong. Pretty sides together. I have a 2-inch on here. Otherwise, you do them just like these. Watched a biography on Santa yesterday. That sounds cool. Well, maybe not. You know, lots of stories on Santa. Not all are kid friendly. Okay. Evidently, the first Shrek movie is the best Shrek movie, which I got to hear on replay, you know, because you got kids all the time. And at the beginning of it, it was on DVD. I don't know what happened to it. At the beginning of it, it would say, play the movie. Yeah, play the movie. That got so... Anyway, I found one on Roku free, one of the Shrek movies. I thought it was the second one. I didn't realize there's 4. What else I can sew since I got it here? Now I'm going to sew this corner on. And the trick is for this is 5 inches. You want this to line up 2 3/4 inches. So get one of my, I buried my rulers. So Josh came in and he was watching Shrek with me for a little bit. So I think you can say that. You want this to line up at the 2 3/4 inch mark right here. And I try to have an even amount on either side. And I'm going to turn it over because for some reason my head wants to do it like this instead. And I made a line right here with my ruler so I can see, because the piece I cut was much bigger. Somehow Josh wound up, I've seen the first and the third one now. Josh wound up watching that one with me. He says he didn't like it. He watched the whole thing. And for those of you who don't know, Josh just graduated college in May. Whoops. Cutting the chain stitching I did. I don't even have my cutting mat. What in the world? I thought I was prepared last night. And we troll each other like siblings do. Give each other a hard time. But I thought he was going to I thought, oh, I'm going to watch Christmas movies until Christmas night. And quickly discovered there wasn't very many movies that I like on Roku for free. Quarter inch away from that seam that we just... This is so light, there's no good way to show you. He did come in, I think the movie was called Get Santa. He did come in and watch a little bit of that with me. It was Breaking Santa Out of Jail. Which I thought was a pretty cute movie, but... Oops. And I can save these somewhere. That'll do. So now we've got one at the bottom. Done. I know I heard my husband just get up. I told you he can't help himself. He has to make noise. Yesterday, when I was sewing that pillowcase, I was trying to record it because, it might have turned out. So I was recording it, and I told my husband very loudly, I am recording now. Not a couple minutes in, the man starts talking to me. I just stop, and I looked at him for a while. And he finally says, were you recording? Yes, I was, but I'll wait. Because this is my living room. And 2 done. See how fast that was? Let's see. What do I want to do? The yellow goes 1 1/4 inch in. Because this is 1 1/4 this way. And 2, what are these? 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. So this will go 1 1/4 in. Then you sew corner to corner, and it's easier for me to see the corner if I flip it over. So I'm going to sew corner to corner on that one. And the cutting directions are on my community page. There is I think it's the first link underneath the video in the details section. I didn't mark it, but you can draw a line. And I'll do the same thing on the other one. Now I flipped this. That's not the right side. That's not the right side of the white on white. That is not the right side. Watch me sew this wrong because I'm fiddling with it. I have some hangover right there. And if you hear water running, I can't control that, man. So corner to corner. Whoops. Wait till he sits down. We're gonna bug him before he has his coffee. He doesn't like that. Go ahead and cut this one off too. I keep chain piecing just to save how many cuts I have to do. I can tell this is over 1/4 inch, so I'm going to pull that back and I'm just going to reduce that seam real quick to 1/4 inch. Good morning. Good morning, Dawn. Deborah says, love the fabrics. Thank you. When he gets back in here, I'm going to tell him everybody says good morning. Why? Because he needs to be trolled. Dawn gets to come with us today. Are you sewing today or relaxing? I'll flip this back. I've got enough. I'm going to have to square these down a little bit because I got a little carried away with my cut. Good morning. You know those pre-coffee people that you can't talk to? And that is waste. And that's why I like doing it this way. I don't have two. I have one. So we fold that back. So sew and flip. And I'm just going to straighten this up a little bit. Lost my trash can. You can't be late till live. Dawn says, sorry, I'm a few minutes late. Playing Fortnite and the game went long because I got second. Congrats. You haven't been playing with my son then, have you? My son plays Fortnite. Among other games. Okay, I've got that one on. And now I'm going to line this one up, like I said. If you're real worried about it, if I cut these the right size, 1/4 inch would be right here from this corner. But I cut mine big. So I can move it over like that if I want to. But I'm going to measure, which would be 2 3/4 is where I want it to lay. So my 1/4 inch needs to be here. 2 3/4 right there. And I've got my 1/4 inch line that I drew right here on the corner. Again, for some reason, my eyes aren't liking that information when I try to sew from that side today. Don't know why. That's how I always sew. I have a line drawn back here so I can see where they cross. Good morning, everybody just coming in. And welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're not. It's early. Not so much on it this morning. That one's just a little bit wonky. But it'll do. I could tell I was off when I was going in over here. I swerved. It'll be okay. I'm going to cut away 1/4 inch. Putting my 1/4 inch line on my seam line. Good morning, Melissa. Practically Creative and a Christmas tree block. Yes, a Christmas tree block. And this is not one of the prettier ones, so I did not do it in both sizes. That was me pouting. I've been trying to do a 6 and a 12 inch, and I was like, nope. Yeah. I'm off an 1/8 up there. goodness. What are we making today? Oh, good morning. It's Sylvia. I didn't see you come in. I'm sorry. I was looking for opportunities to taunt my husband. Wow. Don't worry. I did not hit the back button. I did get rid of my screen, though. There we are. I need to scroll up. See, that's where Dawn comes in. And Melissa says, you ever have days when you know you're forgetting something? LOL. Yes, every day. Okay, only ones that ended Y. And thank you, Melissa says, don't forget, pay to rent, thumbs up. YouTube appreciates it. I appreciate it. Then there's Miss Sylvia. Sylvia is You and Me FPP. And we've got links over here for our moderators. And drop the chat box down over there if you want to see what I'm talking about, because it might seem kind of random, and it still might seem kind of random. Okay. Howdy. That's the proper way to say it. Cheers. Okay, what are we making today? The Christmas tree. Not new. That's what the arrow's pointing to our name. Now, Melissa's been here from the go. I think everybody has. I think that fabric has glitter in it. I have some. This one's not glittery. I have some that is glittery. It's a dark one. None of the fabrics that I have that have glitter on them come off though. Okay. Now we squared this one up, and I wasn't done scrolling. Do not hit the back button. Bad things happen. Dawn says Santa comes to my house around 7-ish tonight. Early. That's how he gets around. Practically Creative Melissa says Feliz Navidad. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy Holidays. She knows all the words. Dawn says my camera angle is perfect. Yay! I can't believe it's already Tuesday either. Dawn says that. Feliz Navidad, my favorite Christmas song ever. Feliz Navidad. Nobody wants that this morning, sorry. Melissa says one of mine too. Okay. Oh my goodness, my ear itches. Now we're going to cut these away, 1/4 inch from the line we've sewn. Yeah, I should have checked to make sure that fit. Too late now. Shh. 2 3/4. Oops. That's what these should be. And I'm putting them back where I picked them up from. Dawn is an enabler. You dance and sing, and then you get to hear my husband mock. He's got both earbuds in. He's not listening. I can say whatever I want. He's such a jerk. Nothing. My friends are bad. That's what you get for getting up when I'm alive. 2 3/4, and I'm killing these off. I'm not the most organized or the best instructor on YouTube, but I enjoy the visiting too. Start getting this thing together. Changing the guard dogs. Melissa she says, be right back. Deborah says, after working in retail for 20 years, not a fan of Christmas music. Oh, I bet. That'd be enough to drive me crazy. I worked at the mall one season just at Christmas time. So I was working 2 jobs. I like Christmas music. They were not going to ruin it for me. Let's see. Where did I go? Don says, Deborah, I used to work the toy section at Dollar General. The toys start arriving in September. You dream by noises and hope the noisy ones sell out. Oh, I have 2 dogs. You've seen them, I'm sure, that dance. So when this grandchild comes over, she loves the dance of the singing dogs. I don't think it's even about, well, it might be about the dancing. This one doesn't dance, but she sings. So that's hers for Christmas. I got her another Christmas present, but apparently the Amazon strike did something to my delivery. Been waiting on it since, well, a week now, last Tuesday. It's been out for delivery for a week. I could have drove to Washington State and back. And I have a friend, her and I, after work, 1 o'clock in the morning, if we had to go by Walmart, if we just wanted to go by Walmart, we would be a nuisance. Start pushing the buttons, throwing footballs. You just can't let some people in the store. Oh, Sylvia says Natalie's at work. She'll catch up on the replay. Thank you, and thank you, Natalie. And Natalie has gifted Sylvia some cute fabrics and notions in her Advent calendar. Advent, that should be one more day, right? After today. If you haven't seen those, go check them out because they are adorable. And Christmas music. My quilt projects. I'm like Betty the Elf. I love Christmas music. Yes, I do, Melissa. Melissa asked if I have a live studio audience. Yes, I do. Yeah, the Amazon strike. Well, I guess the first package was caught in the Amazon strike. The second package, they delivered UPS. So that's that one. I was glad to get one. She does. Natalie does have awesome taste in fabric, Don says. And yes, Sylvia has one to open tomorrow. Okay. I need to sew these 2 together so they will go on top of each other. And one of these seams, I'm going to turn so they nest right there for me. And then I went to sew this one to here. And we'll worry about the rest after we get this. Now this one, both my fabrics are going the same way. So there's 2, 4, there's 6 fabrics stacked right here. One, I don't want that to. I want it to nest. So I'm going to turn this one towards me. This one goes to the corner. This one goes away from the corner. And then you just butt these 2 edges up. And it feels smooth underneath. You know, there's no bump or anything. This nail color is pretty, but I don't like it on me. This was not in me to take it off yesterday. I got nice threads, 1/4 inch. And this one, there's nothing to line up except the edges. I'm not using pins because I am lazy or efficient. I'm 1/4 inch away from there. You can use pins, use glue. I'm a fan of glue, especially after yesterday. I took one of my big basting pins and jabbed it right into my finger. That was not fun. I should have sewn that one first, then I could keep chain piecing. This one back at the top. Lay it down and push away. And I'll take this line, flip it over to where the edges line up. And you'll notice none of my blocks are perfect. Some are better than others, but none of them are perfect. And they still work. All the blocks I put in this quilt behind me, the splash color quilt, none of those were perfect. They could have been off by an eighth. They could have been off here. They could have been off. It's okay for what I'm doing. There are no quilt police in my house. And so far, none on my YouTube. Except for the one that, wants people to be happy when they're quilting. Dawn. I don't make quilts to enter contests, so I'm not worried about it. And I like that because that's stressful. I would not like the stress of a contest. Okay. This is wanting to go that way, so I'm going to flip that back that way and give this a finger press. My threads off this. Oh, and Sylvie says, and Melissa was saying, I'm loving all the gifts from Natalie, too. Such cute fabrics, yes. And Don says, cute, 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 perfect fabric. And Sylvia says, I have an idea what I want to make with them. I just need to sort them in colors. Okay, so now we've got this one. It's going to go at the top of the tree. Why? Because that's how the picture showed it. And these aren't going to nest. And I'm not going to try to make them, but I am going to try to line these two up. If I take a pen and poke it through the top center right there. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can't see back here. There we go. And then I'll poke it through the top center right here. They will line up. And I just have to line up my edges. That was, oh no. See, I almost messed up. Let's do that again. Well, let's not do that again. That's last. I forgot my sides. Oh, well, we're talking food. Oh, it's all about the food. What did I do wrong? Oh, okay. These should have been, I forgot I was putting these on and then adding the top. So those look like a ½ inch too long. So 6, oh, almost 3/4 too long. So 5 3/4 is what this should be. Yes. Yeah, 5 3/4 by 5. I'll get back in the chat in a minute. Line this up. I frequently use blues tips, and that's okay. I do better if I iron properly, but we ain't doing that today. Using the black outer line. I should have done this flipped over so I could see where I was going. That's okay. Oh, somebody said like a pineapple. Shame on you. Oh, kept all but the bottom, and actually I'll get that back once I put my seam allowance there. And I didn't straighten this edge. I'm just lining it up down there and up here, and I'll straighten it later. Because we are rebels. Nope, not going to look. Didn't look at the other one, not going to look at this one. And I mentioned last week, I mentioned that our block of the month will be back next year. It's a prompt, and then you do whatever it is you want to do with it. Bag, block, whatever. And we are using countries all year. I need to square this one up. Path of least resistance is going to be to this top one. So I'm going to push it that way. I don't have any dark showing through right here that I need to trim off to make sure. Another bit. I have things buried behind me. I'm going to trim this down. Dawn has an arrow pointing to herself. Quilting Revolt. And she's a quilt judge. I think it should be judging Rebel. Okay, I don't like how that's working. He changed my blade. I realized that yesterday when I was cutting. Where did I do that? Oh, surgery? Oh, okay. Hang on a second, trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, Deborah says hubby has doctor appointment for his surgery on Friday. Not a happy camper. Well, we'll pray for him, and we'll pray for the doctors, because there's no fun having a not a happy camper to deal with until they're knocked out. I'm sure. These are a little big too. That's okay. That's okay. We like trimming down. Makes them look more accurate, even if you're not. Now we're going to go through the top of this one. Just poke that pin. That's not right. Got it the first time. Can't get it every time. I want it in the seam at the top of that point. There we go. In the seam at the top of the point, just like I almost did earlier. I'll do it in the seam at the top of this point. Straightening these up across the top before I set that pin down. Turn it, poke it into the fabric. I'm not pinning the rest of it. We'll say the extra little bit here and on these was intentional. Again, the cuts are over on my community page. There's a link underneath the video to that. I sound kind of not so peppy this morning. I was just tired. Oh, I think I went through that this week. I think I went through my point instead of above it. Which what I should have done was look from this side. There's an X right here where these seams cross. If I sewn from this side, I would want to stay just to the right of that. Oh, that's crooked. Do I want? No, I don't. Do I want to rip it out? Oh, so close. Well, things happen. I'm gonna turn that one on. If you want to be picky and rip it out because it's not straight, go right ahead. Makes your heart happy. You do what makes your brain happy and what makes your heart happy. If this is going to drive you crazy, fix it. Oops. Oh, you guys missed. That's next week's block, and I'm still doing Christmas. I need 42 for my wall hang for my quilt. Yep, the gallbladder surgery is pretty easy. Unless you're a responsible adult, you take with you, lets you lose your shoes for 2 weeks. Took my shoes off somewhere at the house, or I put them in a bag. I'm not sure. I can't remember now. Anyway, I got home. My mother had taken me. She came home to stay with me, I think, till it was about time for my husband to get there. Perfect. Look at that spray. Use starch. Starch mixed with water. Not heavy-handed. This one has a bladder. The one I have a link to doesn't. The link goes to this one. It doesn't have the little plastic bladder in it. This one I have to undo every now and then to get the air out so it sprays right. Oh, Bill says he feels fine now, not hurting. Yeah, till he does, and then he'll be in pain again. And he'll wish he had that surgery. But he's a grown man. Rule here is if you're not doing something to help it, you don't get to complain about it. Trying to do something to help it because not everything is helpful. And I'm pressing from the back sides, not to set my seams, but because that starch, if it's going to get anything on my iron, I prefer it to do on the wrong side. We know last week it didn't go well for me when I tried to scroll back up to see the comments. I will be trying that again this week, and just in case it doesn't work. Merry Christmas. It's supposed to be 6.5, and there's not a 1 over there. I have a little bit of trimming to do. Just a little. I'm hoping the seam is straight and using it. I am building a sampler quilt, so it's just random blocks, just like the Color Splash quilt, except for it's Christmas. That one I messed up. Oh, I'm not. Okay. It's like, wow, that one I really got wrong because I was not over enough. Yeah, it's a little wonky right there, but I'll fix it when I put put it in a block. I thought this was the perfect fabric for the Christmas tree. Wonky light and all. Most of my seams look good. Okay. That light's going to have to stop helping. Sorry. This light is a struggle ever since I got it. What was I going to do? Just a second. Let's see. I've got 3 projects in back of me ready to go. And I'm going to, oh, sorry about that. I had an idea that I changed my mind. These are probably almost all the pieces for the vintage quilt setting that I'm using for this from 3 Yard Quilts. Good morning. There's Stephanie Stitches. Haven't seen you. Well, I haven't seen you on my channel for a while. She has been doing Vlogmas. Thank you for sharing that, Melissa. She's been doing a Vlogmas, and she's got exciting stuff for next year. And social Christmas edition. Did I say that right? She just did last week. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, everyone. So the setting from the 3 Yard Quilts, I'm going to put this side on because I know all of them will have a bottom one. I'm not sure if I'm going to put this one at the end or in the middle, so I'm not going to put a side one on it. You have been staying very busy, lady. And she has an Etsy shop. If anybody's looking for, fabric. I will get in to see what everybody said just a second. I'm going to finish this seam. Not sure which way is the path of least resistance. Yep, that way. See, my seam is trying to tilt that way, so that's the way I'm going to press it. Unless there's a good reason to do otherwise, that's how I press it. I don't press open. I don't. You do you. What makes your heart happy, that's what we're going to do. Okay. See, and since Stephanie is here, I'm going to talk about it. Sorry, I haven't been here. It's been a crazy month. It has been. Stephanie said that to me. And, oh, no, I understand. I still talk about you. And thank you. I appreciate the shouts on your videos, too. See, I pay attention. What was I going to say about this? Oh, Stephanie has a wall hanging as a snowflake and a tree wall hanging. I like her tree a whole lot better than this one. And I think the little one I made to use for a mouse has landed underneath the chair somewhere. I haven't found it. I like her tree a whole lot better than this one. Her patterns aren't that expensive. So, check her winter something. Oh, I had it on the tip of my tongue earlier. Anyway, I like that tree better. This is not one of my favorite trees to make, but it is a tree. It is cute. We'll take it. You have been very busy, Steph. I'm trying not to hit the back button on my mouse again. That was so not fun last week. Let's tilt up. And what else was I going to do? Oh, scroll. We're going to scroll. And now y'all are too close to me. Listen, Mary G, you don't need to be that close to me. Right? I told them unless they're married to me, they don't need to be that close to me. You can put your earplug back in. That is my misbehaving smile. In case you missed it, I have an audience this morning at my house, a live audience. My husband's over there trying desperately to get me to keep him out of the conversation. He just he's such a okay, I'm scrolling back up. Oh, and we're gonna smack Bill. What are we smacking Bill for? Can we smack Tim too? We should. Hang on. We're talking about pineapples. And surgery. Okay, I'm gonna scroll back down. Tomato soup. I want tomato soup and grilled cheese now. We're meeting my family for lunch. Pray for us. Oh, I'm just gonna skip over that. I'm gonna go down. Okay, Bill was being a brat about surgery, which is Deborah's husband. So Melissa said, smack him. Tell him to get it done, or else he gets to go on the no-fat gallbladder diet that consists of boiled hamburger and plain taters. I don't like that one. Thank you, Don. Don says it's the perfect fabric, and that's when Quilting with Stephanie Stitches came in, said Merry Christmas, and I was going to give Dawn a blue wrench, but I had talked to her prior about it. I wasn't going to just, I can't think of the word. There's a word that goes there. Draft. I wasn't just going to draft her. Let's see, she says Merry Christmas. I think everyone does that, but the gallbladder surgery is so simple these days. Doing it lap is so much easier. It is. It was super easy. Don't lose your shoes. Just know where they are, especially if you only have one pair. Everybody said, "Oh, Merry Christmas," and now I'm down to where I started causing trouble. And by the way, if I didn't say it, Steph, you never need to apologize for not being here. You're a mama, you're a businesswoman, you have YouTube, you have retreats, girl. Life goals. You are busy. I do appreciate that you do stop by and say hi. I might catch up on last week's Vlogmas today. Depends how grumpy I've made my husband. Oh. We're working ahead. Oh, and by the way, if at any time you need my attention, and we're pretty much done now, if you need my attention, exclamation mark, followed by COLEEN, will get my name highlighted for you on any device. So I will see it come up in orange when I look over and I can address it, or you can get one of my moderators' attention by yelling at him. I don't suggest you do that very often though, because I can't remember how I programmed the Nightbot. It may not like a lot of yelling. Working ahead, I like that. My quilt project says, I think all of us are in that boat, Steph. Everybody say hi, Steph. Christmas quilt in the background is turning out amazing. Dawn says, thank you very much. You can't see the candles I did last week. They're hiding down there. I like it. I was worried it was too busy because I tend to do very busy quilts. I just throw in what I like, and then I'm like, oh, that's busy. But that's what I go with. And everybody said hi, Tim. Hello. He says hello. I'm repeating that, Dawn. Dawn, if you don't have your chat dropped down to the side over here, drop the chat and see what Don said. Melissa Brassically Creative says, oh, lunch now instead of dinner. That may be smart. Love your earrings, Coleen. Stephanie says, thank you. And they move. I like Christmas earrings. I must like them the best because I have a bunch. I don't have any other holiday earrings yet. You weren't going to wrench her without talking to her? LOL. I know. Oh, and then Sylvia says, I'd like your attention, please. The exclamation, Coleen. Thank you. Just testing for folks. Yes, it makes it bright orange to where I can see it. You don't see the bright orange, but I do see the at Coleen Sews and Chats. I'd like your attention, please, with the upside down smiley face because we're always upside down smiling. Okay, the earrings are cute, but it's a little weird that Santa is breakdancing. Why is that weird? Okay, now it's weird. I was watching it. Now it's weird. And this, give me a second. I'm going to grab this quilt. I don't know what kind of mess is in back of that. This one's hiding. Let me grab that real quick. And I'm not getting up because my hips are bothering me. Hopefully nothing falls. Oh, I still have some cover. Don't get stuck on the carpet. I was going to show you guys. This thing weighs a ton. I'm going to suggest parental supervision for the 3-year-old. It's going to. I had so many puckers in this thing. It's been washed and it's been dried. So all of these are just the natural washing and drying of it. And this is what the mama likes. So I put this on the back because I told her I was going to make her a quilt because I made my son Cody one. And he said she just loves it too. Of course they do. It's Minky. But Melissa snorted. Oh, Minky quilt. And I was saying that my husband is learning because yesterday I held up this. I said, well, the pillowcase I wanted to make out of Minnie Mouse didn't work, but this one is fine. And he says, Minky pillowcase. He knew it was Minky. And I figure this one will be probably, if it was me, I would have it in the living room and any other room the baby was. Because it is so stinking soft. So I did that. Oh, I don't want to lose this one right there. But this, every block is quilted differently. Now, these blocks are pretty much the same, quilting on them. I did all that quilting on this, and this thing really is heavy. I didn't miss some threads. I need to go back and cutting these off would be fine because I've got my needle broke. I was missing catching the flap right here. So I had to go over that way more times than I should have. But all I do when I use Minky, first of all, I get the 2-yard backing, the 2-yard quilt for the back. 2 yards of fabric for the back. And then I try to make the quilt close to that size. Now I knew this one was going to be smaller, so I got the pink to go around it as the border instead of putting a fabric border there. And it's just so stinking soft. Let's see. I used serpentine. I used a stipple somewhere, stipple stitch on my machine. What else did I use? Oh, the straight stitch. I used another stitch. I know I did. I just don't know where. But all of these, and these are all but I think one of my first time FPPs that I learned. This butterfly is one of the first ones I learned. And this star. Let's see. Then I've got a bunch from Sylvia. Oh, and these. The pinwheel was FPP. And this one was FPP. So baby girl is getting a lot of grandma's firsts. And of course, gnomes. The potato chip blocks. Anyway, it's so soft. And I'm going to leave it on my lap. There was something else. What was it? Oh. Then these little just, you can't see it, but that one says Bristol. I need to refluff this one. I washed them. They're just tree hangers. I should have put mom and dad on these. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was thinking, that is so pretty right there. But they're just tree hangers, really simple scrap and ribbon or fabric. I did a thing on that. Melissa just saw a Minky purse. I do. You know what? Where is it? I have some leftover Minky. I was thinking I should make her a stocking. Oh, there's my leftovers. I think I got 1.5 yards of this pink one. I could sew that together. Oh, I'm going to have Minky all over me again. That's what I have left over. And I did put polyester cotton batting in between this. I had been using cheap blankets at Walmart. This is a 10-inch apart quilting. You can do up to 10 inches apart, which means no matter which direction you go, it can't be more than 10 inches. And this right here is more than 10 inches from this corner to this corner. So you'd want to cross it at some point for that. I was not understanding that for the longest time. I was like, 10 inches apart. How do we measure that 10 inches? I don't know why that confused me, but it just did. So she can carry the purse everywhere, and she will. Melissa says exactly. And Don says, Melissa, enable her. Yes, and I plan on, this is going to be the, since I messed up the pillow, it was nice. Since I messed that up, I'm just going to put her presents in it, put a tie on the top. It's now a gift bag. Deborah says we are all enablers, right, Coleen? I may have a problem with sales. And food. By the way, I tried my friend Dee Dee's pretzel recipe. It is so good and so easy and fast. And if you like pretzels, it has ranch, powdered ranch dressing in it. If you like pretzels, I actually have some left. I don't know how that happened because the bag followed me into my living room yesterday. It sat down on the chair with me for like half the day. Peanut gallery copter sneezed almost as quick as a mouse. I'm trying to be good. I do this though when y'all aren't with me. I'll just stop and I'll stare at him till he wonders what I've been saying to him. Anyway, I need to get all this packed back up, ready to go this afternoon. I told you I'd be giggling and crying. Oh my goodness. Oh, and I will tell you, for the block of the month, whatever block I do, I will either find it free or I will make it free. And if I make it and put it up free, it's going to be free for 30 days until the next block comes out. And if it's FPP, and then Sylvia will have it after that. Because pattern makers work hard on their patterns. And I know I just shouldn't just give them away all the time, but it's just blocks. But FPP is much, I don't know if it's much more difficult to make, but you know. Dawn was laughing her head off. And then Melissa says, poor Timmy. Says, high five to that. You have great ideas. Wait. Oh, the purse. I have another great idea that I'm working on in a little bit. And Dawn says, cheers. So this thing is so heavy. I held it up and I told my son, my grown son, I held it up like this and I said, take this. I had my hands apart. He grabbed one and I let go. I said, no, you got to grab this side too. And I let go. He's like, why are you trying to kill babies? So supervision is going to be required. Seriously. I love it though. I love ours too. And I'm going to work on Josh's next year. I'm going to work on that double wedding ring, infinity ring quilt is what I'm calling it. I'm still not sure about what to put in between them. I had lots of ideas, but I haven't just planned it out yet. Going to be working on that. I'll have after Christmas, we'll go back to the Quilt Builders card deck or the Quilt Tool book to randomly pick because I like doing that. I make things that I wouldn't normally make out of them and get to figure something new out. So I enjoy doing that. Oh, and I will be doing things, I'm sure, with Melissa and Sylvia and Don and, cyber stalking Stephanie. When I get it on the TV, I can't comment. And then I'm usually using my computer for something so that I forget. But, everybody should cyber stalk my friends that have YouTube channels. Otherwise, it's wrong. Oh, goodness. What'd Sylvia say? Sylvia, awesome FPP patterns are not easy. They take time to create, especially when you make rookie error and don't flip letters. Well, I did that with my thankful back here. Printed them all out, and then I realized I didn't have them flipped. Then I was like, oh, I had them all cut out, had them printed, had them all over here stacked up like they were supposed to be. And then I start to sew them, and I'm like, T looked like a T. And then it went downhill from there. But she does. Sylvia makes awesome FPPs, and she's created some, I know, for Deborah and some for others too. And she's made FPPs for me too. Where did I go? Melissa says, LOL, Sylvia, you're an expert and once in a while you make mistakes just like the rest of us. And I led off with that. I was watching Pat Sloan's upload from yesterday, I think. And she's like, fail. But she fixed it as she went along. And I so felt that yesterday when I was breaking needles, missing edges, ruining ideas. And she's like saying the same thing. She says, this isn't just an idea I had. And she's made pillows before. I have really made pillows. Those mini ones I don't think count. So she was like, she cut it wrong. Then she had to cut it smaller because she didn't measure the pom-pom she wanted around it. And then she had to do something else. And I was like, oh my gosh, this was my day. This is a lot of my days. And she was letting you know it happens to everybody. We all screw up sometimes. And you have to adjust or put it in timeout, is my experience. Let's see. I'm used to being cyber stalked. Creatives. Some people need to mind their own business. Saying that. Where was it? Except Kevin, who needs his pants fixed. I was talking if you're named Kevin. No, if you're named Kevin, please don't stalk my friends. Over me. Oh my gosh. When you sew, people want you to fix their pants. And some people don't understand. No. That's all I'm going to say. He needs a stapler. That's right. Get the stapler. I didn't see what Deborah said. Okay, I sewed 36 pieces until I realized they were backwards. Oh, you sewed all of those? Oh. I don't usually print things mirrored. I just print them. Words need to be printed mirrored. Period. I did not do that. Oh my gosh. 36 pieces. Oh. If you haven't seen Sylvia's FPP. She has tons of FPP inspiration and stuff on her page. She's done characters from The Lion King, pieces from Cinderella, pieces from Aladdin. Yeah, Aladdin, musicals. She's doing this for her grandson. It's so cute. Oh, Melissa says that it happens to everyone. And before I watched this, I'll have to find a before picture and see if I can scroll in and find all those horrible puckers that were in it. Before I watched this, it had a lot of puckering. Because I didn't use, don't freak out. Disclaimer here, you should use your walking foot when we're working with Minky. I didn't use my walking foot, and I just found a place that I missed. But I didn't use my walking foot, and I didn't have any trouble until I broke my needle, and then I'd done the entire quilt practically. So that needle should have been changed halfway through, because this is very thick. There's lots of curves. I used paper to make this design on just a ruler and some paper, but this had like pleats all over it from my stitching. And even when I use my walking foot, that happens. So I didn't want to struggle with it because it gets pushed around back here, and I've already broke one, and they're not cheap. So, but after I washed it, this is what it looked like. It's all gone. It's all gone. All that doesn't look right. Puckering is gone. Wash your quilt. Don't freak out if you get little puckers and pin tucks. I think that's what they would be called. Don't get discouraged. Finish the quilt, unless you're one of those people. And there are people who don't like to wash their quilts. They don't want this. And I can think of one. I think everybody knows Kimberly Jolly said she doesn't wash her quilts because she doesn't want it wrinkled. I'm pretty sure she said that. If she didn't, I apologize in advance. But I love the wrinkle, and it makes the fabric softer, and it's just so cuddly. Melissa would like my attention. Oh, all kinds of things. So yeah, it as words, and I didn't mirror them. Printed it as words, made it as words. See, that's my problem. All FPP is backwards to me. Melissa says, LOL, these are definitely backwards to me. To Melissa. So you said about the letters. Washing a quilt, Melissa says, makes everything look so much better. It absolutely does. And I'm glad I had my friends here, Melissa and the other ladies that I hang out with, to reiterate that time and time again, because I would let myself get discouraged. I didn't understand that this is part of it. You get better the more you do. Don't freak out. Don't, make it, love it, own it. You'll get better. And then you can look back and say, oh man, look how far I've come. And that's going to feel good. I've only been doing this for a couple of years. I don't mind I mind when I make mistakes, especially if it's one after another. But I understand that I'm learning, and it happens to everybody. Okay. UMEFEP says, I'm laughing about them now. The letters. Don, the heals wounded stitches. Time heals wounded stitches. Okay. Practically Creative. I disagree. Needles are cheaper. $39 or $100 makes them 39 cents each. What did I say? Now see, I don't remember what I said. Practically Creative. Some people want you to fix them while they're wearing them when we're talking about pants. Oh yeah, I'll fix those for you. Stapler. I think that was the best idea. Okay. Is that what you wanted my attention for? Yes. Oh, I said needles are expensive. I didn't mean to say needles are expensive. Where did I say that? I didn't mean to say needles are expensive. I agree with Melissa. They're not expensive. In fact, I had one stretch needle left, which is what you're supposed to use when you sew Minky. I had one left, and that's the one I broke. That's why I didn't change my needle. And I can get, I think it's 5 packs for $15 on Amazon. I don't know why I said they're expensive. I question my decisions now. They're not expensive. In fact, yesterday when I told Tim that I broke my last one, he's like, can you get it at Walmart? I can, but I can get it cheaper on Amazon. So I'll just order some from Amazon, which I should have done yesterday. Okay, that was not important. And my husband's duh. Dawn said that's weird about Kimberly Jolly, if I have that one right. I think I do. I think I remember her saying that. And Melissa's, the whole point of quilts is soft and wrinkly. I know, right? Even the wall hangings I wash. Not often, but I wash them before I put them up. You and me FVP says, make it, love it, own it. That's great advice. Oh, thank you. Agreed. Apparently she is controlling her wrinkles. Deborah says, I make bags, anything I can think of. LOL. She does. Deborah does beautiful work too. And so does Natalie. Natalie's going to watch this after work. So just so you know, I've seen some of Natalie's work and it's I'll get there. Don says, they are expensive when you break many in a row. Oregon needles can be bought 1,000 at a time and very inexpensive. And, you know, I saw somebody say one time, your machine comes with Oregon. Well, this machine and my machines came with Oregon needles. So why not use them? Is my opinion. So whichever is cheaper, the Oregon needles or the Schmidt's, I think is what I usually wind up getting because I can find them easier usually. And when I sort things on Amazon, I always sort cheapest. Almost got all the fabrics gathered for her minion quilt, Deborah says. Yay. And that's something I've tried to start practicing this year, and I hope to practice next year, is be more intentional with my fabric buying. Buy for a project and think about what the cohesiveness of the fabrics that I'm buying. This over here, I think all that's going to work. But what was it? It may have been these. This one right here is Walmart. That's a Walmart fabric. It's mixed with Tula and Free Spirit. And as long as I kept a couple in every block I did, I think it adds to the cohesiveness. But I was just buying it because they were pretty most of the time. Okay. Seems like a lot when you're buying them in bulk, but it's cheaper when you break down the individual prices. Yes, Practically Creative says, and you should always do that when you're buying. Break down what it would cost to add the shipping. If you've got shipping one place and not shipping the other place, add that price. Say the needles are $10, shipping's $5, so now they're $15. And you're getting 100 needles, so do the math to figure out if that's cheaper than the other ones. Oh, okay. We're going to wind it up. Fear of missing out. Yes, yes. Oh, who did that? Almost got all the fabrics. I bet it was Deborah. Fingers don't work. And mine are too fat. They hit all the keys. And I'm not a good typer. My machines seem to prefer Schmidt's needles, Practically Creative says. And that's something else that I think experienced quilters will tell you. Your machine may not like the needles you're using. Your machine may not like the thread you're using. And Dawn told me that spools are made to wind off a specific way for the direction they are. And you should check out Dawn. She's got lots of tips about things like that. And once I figured that out, I got this thing, this holder. This was a $10 holder from Amazon. I put spools on that, and I had really no thread breaking that I can remember since I've changed how the spool comes into my machine. And the bowl cozies liked the Aurifil thread the best. I don't want to buy Aurifil thread. I like it, and it's very smooth. Do they have polyester in Orifil? It's a cotton, and I have 2 or 3 of them. I do like it. It's very nice, very pretty, very easy to sew with thread. But this machine does like it. Go figure. from right there where it's supposed to be. And right now I am using serger threads. They'll hold up or they won't. I've got it. I'm going to use it. Quilt police not invited. Let's see. Okay, I said we're going to found some while cleaning up my mess I created. Oh, found the fabrics. Nice. I need to wash my wall hangings in the new year. I think the turkey, I'm going to take it and the pine cone that goes with it and the couple of fabrics that go with it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to stick it in a drawer. I may finish it next year. I'm not going to have it nagging me all year like it's been nagging me because I have an idea. I want to finish it. That's not a priority. It's after Thanksgiving. Maybe by next Thanksgiving I'll get it finished. Who knows? But it's going to go in a drawer. Sylvia's so proud of herself. She redacted a comment that led to Melissa saying, exclamation FOMO, which reads, someone has retracted a message. This has triggered FOMO in your host, fingers and spell check. Most likely reason that Coleen now thinks you are keeping secrets. Stop it. Sylvia, I'll talk to you later. My quilt project says very nice, no thread breaking. And my first live quilting, oh my gosh, that was horrible. The tension, the breaking, and I found that this thread, when I curl it around and I bring up my thread to the top, it crosses over the spool. Sometimes that will come off and lead to tension problems. If the bobbin isn't wound right, it leads to tension problems. I did that yesterday. I had a bobbin that did not wind well, and I decided to use it anyway. I created my own problem by not, it was just thread. Pull it out, toss it. You know, I shouldn't have used it, but I'm frugal. And I did anyway. But that was probably part of the major problem. That would come off and the thread would break because of where it was coming from. That's why I've got one video that shows I tried it here and here and here and here and here, and then I put it in a cup and it worked. Oh. Oh, I don't know. Oh, Deborah says, I didn't do it with the FOMO. Very nice. No thread breaking. I need to wash my flannel design wall, LOL. Oh, your design wall, is that what she's talking about, Melissa? Her sheet for her design wall, yeah. She says, Dawn, don't call me out like that. Because Dawn said she needed to wash her design wall. I knew it had to be something like that. She said, because Dawn asked what you mean. I use an old white sheet for my design wall. I was trying to get away without washing it. Oh, and Sylvie says, it was that fat finger syndrome. It's a real issue. Oh, no, that's true. Dawn says, oh, LOL, our hobby involves chores. Yes, I made more laundry for myself because I wash these before I give them away. Just especially for that one reason of the threads. In case I miss any threads, I can give it another once over, make sure there's no holes. I think I'm going to leave that little hole that was there. It was fine. I don't know where it is now. It wasn't even a hole. And this, because it's turned over, I use the minky. I turn it in. I turned it in and caught that bottom minky. So it's like this and sewn down. All you have to do is make your corner. And you don't even have to make a pretty mitered corner. Just make them come together. I sew it down on one side and then come back, sew it down on one side, then come back the other side and keep going around. It is the easiest way to, man, this is soft. But yes, because we didn't have enough chores. And this got washed at 8 o'clock last night, 9 o'clock. But I'm usually in bed by then. I did not sleep last night well. even after taking a muscle relaxer. But so this, I washed this and I washed the little hangers. Like I needed more laundry. I knew it was coming though. I was procrastinating, sewing all my ends in, burying all my threads because I had a lot since I did one block at a time quilting it. So every one had 2 threads. I was doing it as I go along and I stopped. Okay, we're going to get off here because we have been on here a long time. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and that, that block that I did makes sense to you. Forgive me for not being more enthusiastic. I was just sleepy. This excitement of a finish. Yes. Oh, that slug juice. Oh, I know something about slug juice grosses me out. I say it. I don't mind if you say it or anything. I just. Minky is not easy to sew. No, it's really not. But I didn't use my walking foot. I didn't have like skip stitches and stuff. And the back, you can kind of see the quilting, but it doesn't stand out. And the more times it's sewed, the more that's going to get ruffled. And I am not doing like they do at Shannon Fabrics. They show you how to take your, I don't know, I think they use an awl. I was going to try to find something that wasn't going to pop my stitches, but you use an awl and you agitate these along the lines to get all those, not fabric. What's the word? Anyway, get all that out of your sewing line. I ain't doing that. I am not doing that. Wash it, it agitates it. Hopefully it comes out. Yeah, I ain't doing that. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for sharing my morning with me and on Christmas Eve, no less. I hope you enjoy that block. There is, like I said, a picture. I didn't put a PDF in this time. There is a picture with the measurements, and you'll see there's a little bit over. So you got a little wiggle room with the top piece and the 2 side pieces. So it'll be all right. It is a 6-inch finished. Everyone is saying Merry Christmas. Sylvia, Merry Christmas all. Deborah, Merry Christmas. Practically Creative, Merry Christmas. Have a great day. My Quilt Projects, Merry Christmas. Oh, it just thundered here. Oh no, Dawn said, I'm going to scoot. Got to get a shower. I hope you get to sew today. I enjoyed the live. I enjoyed you being here. Thank you for making it. Dawn is usually at work when I'm live. Deborah says, great live. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas and all those other holidays that Melissa mentioned, I'm sorry, my brain is going to shut it, Coleen. So, happy holiday, whatever holiday you celebrate. Here, I celebrate Christmas because I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. And this will probably get demonetized. Maybe that's what I did last week wrong. YouTube has just cut my views to, they're not getting in the algorithm at all. That's all right. Somebody else takes care of me. So, not trying to convert you, not trying to get in your head. I can just tell you about me. And that's what I'm talking about when I say be the light you hope to see in others. Positive, goes out, reflects back, at least it should. You're so tuned out. Love you guys. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Let's stop.